Fadi.
Thank you, Sabrina. Is there any support that the Pentagon is providing to the Israeli military in the current situation in Lebanon?
In terms of any ground support or air support?
Any support,
No.
even in terms of intelligence?
No support.
Not even intelligence sharing. So up until, I guess, unless there's some changes, you've been describing what's happening as defensive operations. I believe in the first day, almost 500 civilians were killed, including women and children in Lebanon. Civilian infrastructure has been damaged severely. Almost 1,300 airstrikes. Today, up until 3 p.m. Beirut time, more than 50 towns and villages have been hit by Israelis. International organizations are describing what happened the first day as the highest death toll in Lebanon since the end of the civil war. So I'm just curious, what criteria are you using to describe what's happening as defensive operations?
Well, Fadi, I think I'd have to point you back to October 8th when Lebanese Hezbollah attacked Israel following the brutal attack that Hamas launched on October 7th. So these are still defensive operations. We understand the threat that Israel faces. We are not supporting their operations when it comes to Lebanon. The support that you're seeing, or what you're seeing when it comes to U.S. forces in the region, is for our own force protection. And should we need to come to the defense of Israel like we saw from that large-scale attack from Iran, we've positioned forces to do that. But when it comes to Lebanon, the U.S. military has no involvement in Israel's operations. So just want to lay that flat. In terms of some of what you just referenced, this is exactly why we're pushing for a diplomatic solution. We don't want to see innocent civilians, lose their lives. We want to see a de-escalation happen, and you're seeing engagement from, all parts of this administration, including at UNGA right now. We're calling for a de-escalation, and we believe that a diplomatic off-ramp is the best way to resolve what's happening on that northern border.
If last question, did any official in the Pentagon communicate any concerns about the high death toll among Lebanese civilians? I mean, I know we know in Gaza that was a constant conversation. Has anyone raised that issue in relation to Lebanon?
Without getting into more details of the Secretary's calls with Minister Gallant, we are, of course, always concerned of civilian casualties. We're seeing some of these strikes take place in areas where there are civilians. We're also seeing Israel notify populations to clear those areas. Our focus, and you're seeing a full court press here from the United States government and this administration, we want to see a diplomatic solution, and we want to see it urgently. And that's why you're seeing engagement, whether it be at UNGA or, in calls that the Secretary is doing with Minister Gallant, and not just at his level, but, at other levels as well. We want to see, we don't want to see any action taken on either side that would lead to further escalation. We want to see this de-escalate, and the best off-ramp for that to prevent an all-out war is through diplomatic means.
Thank you.
Tom.